Its dollar totals remain strong. Total sales in the April to June quarter sank 26% to 441, according to the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. But their dollar value fell just 1% from the year earlier to $1.5 billion. Industrial, such as warehouses, was down 19%, but the dollar value rose 11% to $239 million. On the other hand, sales of office and retail properties fell 29%, but their dollar value sank 59%. REPGB Chair Colin Gerber says the pandemic has caused employers to adapt how they view and use commercial space. Amazon will hire 3,500 Canadians for tech and software jobs, 3,000 in Vancouver and 500 in Toronto. The company already has 2,700 staff in downtown Vancouver and today announced details of its expansion into the regional and central post office. Amazon will lease 18 floors of one of the project's towers and 17 in the other, occupancy by 2023. Vancouver is attractive because it's close to Amazon's Seattle headquarters and has plenty of tech talent available at wages substantially lower than in the U.S. Stock buying is in high gear today after last week's nervousness. The TSX is up 103%, 220 points. The Dow is up 524, the S&P 60, the Nasdaq 190. Leading higher is Boeing. It's up 6%.
Boeing is said to be giving buyout offers to about 170 mid-level executives as the plane maker thins its range to counter plunging sales. Boeing is also trimming real estate holdings. That includes a lavish building between mountains after a French chateau in the countryside near St. Louis. Courtney Dunham,
gold is rebounding $18 to $18.84 an ounce. Oil's up half a dollar at $40.70 a barrel. And the movie is little changed at 74.8 cents U.S. In the business center, I'm Richard Deckman.
News 11:30 time, 11:58. Introducing the all-new fuel-efficient Brian. He goes from groceries to gas in under 100 meters because he fills up his tank at mobile stations, conveniently located in the parking lot of his favorite grocery stores, where he earns PC Optimum points. Brian's intelligent design gives him the foresight to fill up when he's already there shopping, rather than on a separate trip later. Fuel efficiently, like Brian. Get your gas at a mobile station.
good morning, you're there! Amazon Prime Day is back. This October 13th and 14th, get 2 days to save big on everything you need and love. That's 2 days to decide what blender to get, or 2 days to find a dress for mom, or 2 days to treat yourself to a little something. Whether it's for you, your family, or even your pet, get 2 days to save on electronics, home and kitchen, fashion, gifts, and more. Don't miss Amazon Prime Day, October 13th and 14th, exclusively for Prime members.
News 11:30 time, 11:59. Now it's time for the News 11:30 gas tracker. These are, of course, prices for a liter of regular responded by you. In parts of Vancouver, we're looking at about 121.9 per liter. Still around there, yeah? Around Langley, more like 120.9 per liter. And take a trip down to Abbotsford, you might find it for as low as 109.9 per liter. And of course, if you want to get in on the action, you can tweet the prices you spot to us at 11:30 Gas Tracker, and then we'll share it in your feed in your land. We have Sonia Aspen in the producer's chair. We have Michael, and I think Washer Crimson is also helping out with CNews1130.com.
News 11:30 in KWS Vancouver. The latest news is as close as your smartphone. Listen live on the News 11:30 app.
Vancouver's breaking news, traffic and weather station.
This is News 11:30.
Good afternoon. This is Monday, September 28th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Curtis Dorn. And I'm Jonathan Seacrest. A sunny 17 degrees in Vancouver. Here's what's making news right now.
BC's election campaign is ramping up now. CNC on the chopping block for a year. The Liberals promise if they get your vote. And he's saying that kind of cut favors the red.
Then the chainsaw chases an apartment escape in Vancouver's Strathcona Park. The latest incident ties to the tent city there as residents demand solutions from our politicians. Can we reopen the border safely, and how do we do it? Experts are trying to find a way, given we'll be living with this pandemic indefinitely. The NHL season can come to a close as the Calgary stocks are surging close to their intraday highs, and Woodlock, the U.S. is crippling as the WTO appeal process thwarts Canada's win over Washington's lumber duties. Business at 26. It's 12:01 to the traffic center. What's going on, Matt Coppin? Lots of road work right now, Curtis. That's the problem. We'll start at Burnaby with the usual but heavy spot. was back from the East Lake, but eastbound load needs to catch a break and just slow all the way to Underhill right now. Nearby, we have a lot of crews working the low-speed highway at Pummel Lake Chilco, so westbound is backed up east of Beachy Trunk Road, and also there's paving on Mariner Way between Windward and Hauser Avenue causing a delay also. You can't sneak around Mariner as an alternate route to avoid low-speed highway at the moment. The other major routes are all looking great. The tunnels, the bridges, the highways. If you see a problem, make sure to give me a call. Keep it all hands-free, please. Start 11:30. Traffic is for DoorDash. Get $0 delivering your first order with DoorDash. Support your local restaurants the most delicious way possible. DoorDash, delicious delivered. Now, Insel, the Weather Center, and a good afternoon to meteorologist Michael Coos.
Curtis, great afternoon. Sunshine all day today, and what a week it will be. Just the slightest chance for some late week cloud. It's all sunshine today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and the temperatures will build. Tomorrow, probably the warmest of the lot. Today, getting up to about 22 degrees under that sun with light breezes blowing along the coast. It holds at around 18 degrees for coastal highs. Tomorrow, we're still under this ridge of high pressure, so a relatively cool overnight because of the clear sky drops down to 11. Tomorrow, we'll be up to about 20 degrees right on the beach, 26 inland as the ridge strengthens a little bit. Warm air punches up from the south. We're already at 19 degrees under the sunshine in Langley and 17 downtown. Your daytime high to 22.
We have traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the clock. News 11:30
And our top story this afternoon, imagine not having to pay any provincial sales tax for a full year. That's the big ticket promise from the BC Liberals today as the election campaign enters the second week.
News 11:30 season news report. Sending leader Sean is not a fan of the idea.
The first year, no PSC would be followed by 3% the second year. Leader Andrew Wilkinson says this is one of the bold actions the party will take if elected. Drastic time calling for drastic measures.
We should be under no illusion. There will be deficit spending for a few years to come in every jurisdiction in the Western world. But that doesn't mean that we just back off and let people suffer.
He says this will boost the economy in tough times. Wilkinson estimating $1,700 in savings for the first year for families of four. The NDP is saying this kind of tax cut will end up cutting starters for those who need it most and have the least means. I'm Lisa Yusa.
And of course, for the latest on the run-up to the October 24th election, check out BC Votes 2020 at citynews1130.com.
Someone wielding a chainsaw chased and threatened people just before the dinner hour yesterday in Vancouver. Police rushed in and arrested a man. It's just the latest incident tied to a large tent city there, and people in the neighborhood are demanding that politicians take immediate action.
The police have yet to release more information on the arrest, but you could say the chainsaw incident sort of puts an exclamation point on the issues surrounding the park. The tent city has been there since a homeless camp was pushed out of Craft Park on Vancouver's waterfront earlier this year. Katie Lewis of the Strathcona Residents Association says it's been a lot for the little neighborhood to handle, begging politicians for help. Given the tent city is unsupported, there are health and safety issues, and crime is spiked.
There's a large segment of that camp that are activists. There are people that are given out the road, go visit there during the day. There are people there that want to party. And then there are people that are in genuine need.
Rallies planned for tomorrow morning along Fire Street, inviting residents of the neighborhood and the tent city together and demand the government take immediate action to help everyone in Strathcona.
Few COVID-19 mitigation measures have been implemented to Canada and U.S. border. But as News 1130's Mark McMahon tells us, there is work underway to find out how to open things up again safely.
Keep in mind, this closure to all but essential travel is certainly not without economic consequence, and while the move was seen as a way to stop the virus getting in here, if and when the U.S. gets its situation under control, experts want to find a way to get people moving back and forth again. Here's SFU Professor Kelly Lee.
So these measures really have to be taken carefully. They're not always required, or they can be done in a more subtle and sophisticated way.
Lee points to measures like testing, which could also shorten the quarantine period, making travel more practical. I'm Mark McMahon.
Having already lost about a quarter of their population during this pandemic, community leaders in Point Roberts are looking to their own elected officials for survival.
I don't care if it has to be done by the President of the United States. Let's get it done.
News 1130's Paul James tells us the local business community is looking for more autonomy to keep their town alive.
Population down from 1250 to under 900 now. Brian Calder with the Point Roberts Chamber of Commerce concedes things continue future looked dire. Something he notes should be more of a concern for local leaders in Canada.
50% of the people here, including me, are dual citizens.
However, with jurisdictional issues being what they are, Calder said they would like more autonomy with the tax money they send to Bellingham for their services.
There's no economic development plan in place. There never has been one. Our planning department is punitive rather than helpful.
Calder admits the broader outlook remains grim, with 80% of businesses shut down and the local economy already at the bottom of a 10-year economic cycle. I'm Paul James.
News 11:30 time 12:06. Let's take a quick look at your weather forecast. Well, today it's clear skies. The sun is out. We're looking at a high of 18, except more like 23 as you move inland. Tonight, a few clouds will develop, but by tomorrow, the sun, I should say, will be back out with a high of 20, except again, plus 26 if you head inland.
Right now it's sunny in Vancouver, sitting at 16.
Well, it's further indication that Canada is into a second wave of COVID-19. Our two biggest provinces reporting massive single-day case spikes today. 750 in Quebec and a record 700 in Ontario.
The previous record of 640 was set on April 24th. However, testing on that day was 12,300. Today, more than 41,100 tests. The Ontario Hospital Association is calling on the provincial government to return parts of Ontario, including the Greater Toronto Area, to stage 2 of reopening, with things like restrictions on indoor dining, gyms, as well as movie theaters. Ontario has now had 50,531 confirmed cases of COVID-19. I'm Irene Preckland.
Meanwhile, the Trudeau government is trying to fast-track a bill to change how COVID-19 aid is delivered to Canadians.
Government House Leader Pablo Rodriguez has put forward a motion which would limit debate on Bill C2 and quickly push it through the House of Commons. It's time for action. A thrill of urgency. The motion would pass the legislation either today or tomorrow. Conservatives are critical, saying there needs to be full debate on spending billions of dollars, but the New Democrats say they'll support the move. The bill creates 3 recovery benefits and ensures that as out-of-work Canadians are switched from the now-expired CERB to employment insurance, they receive the same amount of cash. The Liberals also struck a deal with the NDP to expand paid sick leave through the pandemic. Those details expected after question period. The agreement between the two parties will also see the NDP support the throne speech, which means no federal election this fall. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
The first 2020 U.S. presidential debate between U.S. President Donald Trump and his rival Joe Biden is tomorrow in Ohio. But just like in 2016, Trump is refusing to prepare.
President Trump said Sunday he has spent a little time, not a lot, preparing for this debate against Joe Biden.
I think this whole thing that was the thing. That's what I always remember every day. I'm taking questions from you people on the phone.
In recent weeks, the president has resisted doing typical debate prep, just like he resisted in 2016. He's huddled with advisors at the White House and at his golf club in New Jersey. The sources say these are mostly freewheeling conversations about debate topics or headlines of the day, with few traditional sessions such as mock debates. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Well, let's stay in the U.S. Huge wildfires are once again burning in Northern California's wine country, which has been hit hard repeatedly in recent years.
Above Sonoma and Napa counties, plumes of smoke or flames are devouring land and in some cases homes. Along Highway 12 from Santa Rosa into the town of Sonoma, reports of homes gone in the same areas that were devastated in 2017. Santa Rosa has large-scale evacuations in place right now. Last night and early this morning, people were told to get out as fast as they could. Alex Stone, ABC News.
You're listening to News 1130, Vancouver's breaking news, traffic and weather station. Well, the number of pandemic-caused business closures in Canada is slowing.
Statistics Canada reported a little more than 56,000 shutdowns in June, an improvement from May, but still 44% more than in February before COVID-19. The number of business closures in June was down 5.5% nationally compared to May, with Quebec the only province or territory showing an increase. And more than 52,000 businesses opened across the country in June, 33% more than reported in May. Now, StatsCan says the monthly business closures report, which started after the pandemic began, remains experimental, and it cautions against putting too much reliance on the data. I'm Chris McCusker.
There is an easy way to get the inside scoop on News 1130 giveaway. Become News Insider for your chance to win great prizes like freshly roasted coffee for a year from Lions Bay Coffee Roasters, fueled by bc.delaurie.ca. All the details are at citynews1130.com. It's 12:11, back to the traffic center in Matt Coppin. Well, the major routes look great right now, Curtis. Just seeing the backup for road work in a couple of spots. The first one is going to be at Burnaby, low heat eastbound at Gallardi. That has you back all the way to Underhill and southbound Gallardi, seeing a bit of a tie-up. Coquitlam back-to-back, two spots parallel. The first one is low heat by Coleman Lake Chilco.